Nestled deep within the heart of the forbidding Whispering Pines forest, a trail awaited intrepid souls seeking adventure, but the shadows it held were no ordinary obscurities. A band of hikers, undeterred by local legends, embarked on their journey, their excitement mingling with the trepidation that hung in the air like a shroud. The day's sun, usually warm, cast an unusual pale glow, its light filtering through the gnarled trees that seemed to whisper among themselves in sibilant tones. As the group advanced, the forest's rhythm shifted, bird calls and rustling leaves forming an eerie symphony, as if warning them to turn back. With the sun's descent, a bone-chilling breeze stirred, and the woods seemed to exhale a collective sigh, enveloping the hikers in a sense of isolation. Camp was established in a small clearing, a flickering campfire warding off the encroaching darkness while casting shadows that danced like malevolent spirits. As night unfurled its inky veil, laughter gave way to hushed conversations and nervous glances, the surrounding darkness alive with unseen movement. The forest's ancient trees groaned in the wind, their branches reminiscent of skeletal hands reaching for something just out of grasp. As the group huddled around the fire, their flashlights began to sputter, casting erratic beams that revealed fleeting glimpses of eerie shapes lurking in the shadows. The forest's nocturnal chorus became a cacophony of distorted whispers, and a voice, carried on the wind, wove through their consciousness like a spectral thread, each word a dissonant note in an otherworldly melody. As dawn approached, the night's grip lessened, revealing tear-streaked faces and disheveled camp. However, the path ahead had transformed, leading the hikers on a twisted route that defied logic. Desperation set in as they retraced their steps, but the forest seemed to conspire against them, altering its landscape to confound their attempts. Time warped, and landmarks became unmoored, as if the forest itself sought to imprison them within its labyrinthine heart. When they finally emerged, the world outside felt like a distant memory, the passage of days and nights having merged into an indistinguishable blur. The hikers bore the haunted look of those who had glimpsed the inexplicable, their laughter silenced by the chilling truth that some places harbor secrets beyond human comprehension. The forest, they realized, was more than trees and animals. It was a living entity, a tapestry woven with threads of ancient knowledge and unfathomable power. And as they left its eerie confines, they couldn't shake the sensation that the Whispering Pines forest held them within its grasp still, its secrets forever entwined with their fates. Nestled deep within the heart of the mountain range, a secluded trail beckoned with promises of adventure and breathtaking vistas. Eager hikers embarked on the journey, unaware of the ominous history that shrouded the path. The day began with a brilliant sun hanging in an azure sky, but as the group ventured further, an uncanny gloom settled. The rustling leaves and distant cawing of crows seemed oddly synchronized, as if nature itself whispered of impending doom. The trail meandered through dense woods where twisted trees cast elongated shadows, and a haunting wind carried faint, indecipherable voices. As twilight approached, an inexplicable chill permeated the air, making the hikers draw their jackets tighter. A sense of unease gnawed at them, amplified by the encroaching darkness. Camp was set in a small clearing where a feeble campfire struggled against the encircling shadows. Murmurs of campfire tales turned to anxious glances toward the forest's edge, where unseen eyes seemed to watch from the blackness. An old-timer among them muttered half-forgotten legends of a spectral figure that wandered these woods, luring wanderers astray. The night sky emerged, stars obscured by the suffocating canopy above. The crackling fire cast eerie silhouettes upon the trees, and hushed whispers swirled like ghostly echoes. The forest's symphony of night sounds was disturbed by an unnatural silence, broken only by the faintest rustling. One by one, the flashlights flickered and died, plunging the campsite into darkness. Panic swelled as unseen footsteps circled the camp, whispers now a cacophony of unintelligible words. As tension mounted, a voice, an otherworldly amalgamation of a child's innocence and a wailing specter, penetrated the night, seeming to emanate from all directions at once. Heartbeats quickened, and the hikers clung to each other, their faces etched in terror. The voice's melody was captivating yet sinister, a siren's call that promised answers to the unknown but threatened to shatter sanity. Dawn's light struggled against the oppressive darkness, revealing tear-streaked faces and disheveled belongings. The forest stood quiet, as if holding its breath, but the path ahead was distorted, leading in twisted loops that defied all logic. Desperation drove them to backtrack, yet the forest's grip was unyielding, each step a descent into an abyss of confusion. Time warped, and landmarks vanished as the hikers trudged through a nightmare woven from their deepest fears. Eventually, emerging from the woods, they staggered onto the trailhead, the forest's malevolent aura vanishing with each step. The hikers were forever changed, bearing the weight of an experience beyond comprehension, where reality itself had betrayed them. And though they re-entered the world of sunlight and certainty, a lingering dread remained, a reminder that some places are cursed, and the boundary between the living and the spectral is far thinner than they had ever dared imagine. Amidst the tangled depths of the ancient forest, a group of daring hikers embarked on a journey that would forever haunt their nightmares. The trail, whispered about in hushed tones by the locals, promised breathtaking vistas and an experience like no other. As they ventured deeper into the woods, the air grew thick with an eerie stillness, broken only by the distant cry of a raven. The towering trees loomed overhead, their gnarled branches reaching out like skeletal fingers, casting long, ominous shadows. Unease settled upon the hikers as the path twisted and turned, leading them into a labyrinth of darkness. Time seemed to lose its grip, and the forest seemed to take on a malevolent life of its own. As night descended, a bone-chilling fog rolled in, cloaking the landscape in a ghostly shroud. Their flashlights cut feeble beams through the mist, revealing fleeting glimpses of twisted shapes that disappeared as quickly as they appeared. Nervous laughter turned to hushed whispers, and each step became a hesitant shuffle. Whispers of unsettling legends circulated within the group, tales of lost souls and supernatural entities that called this forest home. The crackling of branches underfoot seemed to echo with a sinister resonance, as if unseen eyes were watching their every move. Their campsite, a clearing surrounded by ancient trees, offered little respite from the growing sense of dread. A flickering campfire cast dancing shadows that seemed to dance to an unearthly rhythm. The hikers gathered around the fire, their faces etched with fear, sharing furtive glances as if expecting something to emerge from the shadows at any moment. A distant howl pierced the night, sending shivers down their spines, and they clung to the dwindling fire as their only source of solace. As the night wore on, the forest's grip tightened, and reality began to fray at the edges. Strange whispers crept into their ears, carrying unintelligible words that sent shivers down their spines. Their flashlights began to flicker, casting erratic beams that revealed fleeting glimpses of grotesque shapes lurking just beyond the trees. Panic took hold, and the hikers felt a primal urge to flee, to escape the suffocating grip of the woods. But the forest had other plans. The path that had led them in now twisted and turned in disorienting ways, leading them deeper into the heart of darkness. Each step felt like a descent into madness, as the trees seemed to close in around them, their branches clawing at the sky like desperate hands. Their breath came in ragged gasps, and the line between reality and nightmare blurred until it was indistinguishable. Morning finally broke, casting a feeble light that revealed the hikers' haggard faces and the tattered remnants of their campsite. The forest, now eerily still, gave no indication of the terrors that had unfolded within its depths. As they stumbled back onto the familiar trail, they couldn't shake the feeling that they had escaped only by the thinnest of threads, that the forest had allowed them to leave with their lives but had claimed something far more precious, their innocence and their certainty that the world was a place of safety and reason. And so they emerged from the woods forever changed, haunted by the chilling truth that some places are best left unexplored, some paths best left untaken.